for all the girlies listening, I feel like it is a similar theme with women feeling like we're too much, too emotional, too complex, whatever it is. And I really tried to make myself small. And it worked because I'm like 5'2". I'm like, I'm physically small, and I just need to be the nice girl, and I need to be really polite. And I need to do what people tell me, and then I'm going to be accepted and loved and adored, whatever. And it did kind of work for a while, but I didn't feel like myself because I do have opinions and I do have ideas and I know what I want. I definitely know what I don't want. And it's so fun to be able to stand in a place of power while also being kind. I think I thought if you spoke up, you were not kind, but it's just not true. Like, there's a way to do it.
I think the most powerful human in the world is someone who can courageously share their opinions and create boundaries in a kind and conscious way.
100%.
Not screaming and reacting and like, get away from me, but actually like, you know what you just did? Like, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I want to let you know, maybe I'm misinterpreting something, but I need to have distance from you for a while, or I need to create this boundary. But like actually having the courage to disappoint someone and have someone not like you in order to create safety within you is one of the hardest things to do.
The courage to be disliked, like, that is powerful. But guess what? You're actually doing things right if people don't like you, because living in your truth and I have found that when I've been, and it's kind of what we were talking about earlier, when I have felt the most aligned, been speaking my truth, like emanating my inner light, it triggers a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it triggers. I've had the amount of people it's like are like there's a couple of people online that were like, I don't believe her. Phony. But it doesn't faze me because I know who I am. Yeah. So actually, if you're pissing people off or people don't like you, you're doing something right. Because there has to be duality to everything. Absolutely. Not everyone's going to love you. Not everyone's going to adore you.
100%.
And it actually took the pressure off of me because I felt like I had to do that. And I'm like, it's too tiring.
You don't need everyone to like you anymore.
No.
Yeah, and you can just be yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you want to like try to piss everyone off.
No.
Right,
and I'm like, please love me.
Please love me.
Please love me. No, it's a good balance.
That's
for
great.
Sure.
Another quote you have talking about this whole journey. This was on, I think, a 3-year anniversary post after getting sober. You wrote this on Instagram. It said, I began my journey in remembering who I am. Since then, I've experienced moments that can only be described as pure miracles and magic.
Yeah.
What are a few of those moments in the last 3 years since being sober that have been miracles and magic for you?
I think for me, I struggled a lot with being present in every sense of the word. I think that's why I like being an actor, is because I'm forced to be very present. And I connected those dots. I was like, oh my God, that's why I gravitated towards it as a child, because it took me out of my head and I could just focus on whatever I was doing. But my life, there's so much stillness in my life the last couple of years. And I'll just have these moments where it's not anything profound. I'm just like sitting, drinking my coffee with my dogs. And I'll just be so moved to tears by how great I feel. It's almost like I can't believe I'm so comfortable in my own skin. I felt really afraid of myself for a long time. I was afraid of my choices. I felt like a wild card. And so to just be really, it was.
Really? You just didn't know any day you could be just something wild or crazy?
Yeah, I mean, sober me, I was a people pleaser. And so I felt like I was trying on all of these different masks and none of them really felt like me. And so now I just, like, what I meant by that quote about miracles and magic is I feel so connected to myself and I feel connected to I call them my team, my guide team up there. And I just am in awe of what I've been able to do. I'm in awe of other people. I feel like I have so much empathy for people and what everyone's fighting silent battles we know nothing about. I mean, I'm like the perfect example of that for 10 years. And there were so many people who, I don't have resentment towards them, but like they just didn't know what I was going through. And that's why it's so vital to be kind, to always be kind. And I don't think I would have garnered that amount of understanding or empathy had I not gone through what I've gone through. And I don't think, and I don't mean like enable people,
right?
But like, we don't understand anyone else's point of view or what people are going through. So just be patient.
Do you feel like you were kind and patient with others?
At moments, yeah. And then I would get mad that people wouldn't show up for me. And so then I'm like, oh, was I only doing those things to get something in return? Because that's not actually giving. If I'm giving my time or my energy just because I want them to show up for me, that's selfish. That's people pleasing. And so that was a big wake up call for me to be like, oh my God, am I not as good of a person as I thought I was? Because people pleasing is actually selfish. Like, you can still be a good person, but it comes from a wound. Yeah, and if I act this way, then I'll be accepted and loved and adored.
That was most of my life. It was like trying to fit in or trying to make people happy, especially in intimacy.
Yeah.
It was like I felt whenever I was single, I was so joyful and I felt like I could be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And then 6 months after getting into a relationship, or 9 months, for whatever reason, I would choose people out of a wound. I'm not making these people wrong. I would choose them out of a wound where they never accepted who I fully was. And they wanted me to change to make them feel safer or more comfortable or whatever. And then I would change to please them. And then I resent myself, I resent them, I resent the relationship. But I was like, I'm going to try to do whatever it takes to make it work. And then I couldn't get out of the relationship because I was like, I invested all this time. And then it was like a cycle.
And you were like attracting the same type of...
Same person.
Like, this is what I mean about the lesson. We'll keep repeating until you
Until it got really painful. And then I was just like, I almost had a similar wake-up call where it's just like, I can't live like this. I've repeated this 5, 6, 7 times now over like 15 years or something. And I've got to look within.
Yeah.
I've got to do some healing work. I've got to create boundaries in a conscious way. I've got to learn how to say no. I've got to learn to not people please, all these things.
Yeah.
So it was about 4.5 years ago when I started the healing journey for myself in a different level. I started healing 12 years ago around sexual abuse.
Yeah.
But then 4.5 years ago around intimacy and relationship.
Yeah.
Around the people pleasing. And that's when everything started to change for me. Talk about miracles and magic. I mean, it's like I would not be able to create a sense of peace inside of me without doing that healing work. And I know you talked about healing the inner child for about a year during my healing journey. I had a photo on my phone of my, like 8-year-old self, right? And so every moment I looked at my phone, I was reminded to reclaim the boy inside of me and to say, you know what, I'm like, he was screaming at me through eczema or through chest palpitations, through like pain in my chest, through feeling like someone was choking me. It's like the boy inside of me was saying, take care of me.
Yeah, trying to get your attention.
Stop neglecting me. And recreate that integrated healing of oneness of all the parts of me. And it wasn't until I started to really heal the little boy in me and turn around and face myself and the darkness and the wounds and start integrating, that's when the pain left my body.
That's so powerful the way you just worded that. And I did talk therapy for many years and we did a lot of inner child work. A lot of like meditations where I visualize myself as a little kid.
Me too.
Even for it's interesting to do for other people too, because if you're angry at someone, if you do a meditation or you can even journal about it, envision their inner child.
Powerful.
You can't be mad. It just like...
So you see a little girl, little boy who's hurt or sad.
Everyone's wounded.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.